if you were speaking to somebody that's thinking about, man, I got to bust out of this cubicle. Like I have this real drive inside me to start something. What would be 2 or 3 really key, crucial steps that you would kind of talk them through that are these? It doesn't matter what you do; these are absolute non-negotiables. These are the things that I would do if I was starting again tomorrow.
Yeah. I would probably the 3 things I would give. One is figure out what you're going to be about. I see that there are several themes that any good story contains. And if you have those themes in your story, then there are things that can give you long-term passion. And so for those, if you have elements of justice, like for example, one of the things that I get really excited about what we do is we're creating economic justice for our partners, opportunities for them to be viable long-term in a changing market context. Things like that, beauty, reconciled relationships, or bringing healthy relationships. These types of themes, if you can say, hey, how is my enterprise going to bring good in these areas long-term? Those are the things that make me want to get up in the morning, that say, hey, I'm passionate about this. There are also things that I see my family wants to be a part of. My wife will be supportive of or leading out in, and so that's always a great thing. But I also, one of the things that I hoped for, but I'm really glad to see with, as I mentioned, some 2 older children, 21 and 15, they both love what we're doing and want to be a part of it. So we've got, as I mentioned, a scientist that's running tests on some flora from Montenegro to see how do these naturally occurring flora compete with antibiotics against some difficult bacteria in a lab setting, and finding some amazing results that we hope to be publishing soon about how foraging here can be so good for health.
Wow.
And so in that scenario, when your kids say, hey, it's not just about paying bills, it's about making a difference in other people's lives, I think they're better members of the community moving forward. So if you can find what is it that you can be about that fits your context, I would say that's a great start. Second, I'd say what business is viable in that. So once you see what are the needs for that community that you could do, is there a way for you to monetize that in a sustainable way that brings good? And I would, you need a business plan that has multiple elements at your bottom line, not just the profit, but it's also what are your metrics that you're going to be evaluating, see are we doing this thing that we started for, and keep focus on the both and the viability as well as the impact. And the third thing I would say is to do a honest self-assessment. Where do I have strengths in these areas? I have a lot of assistants here in legal, in digital marketing, in IT, and in language assistance. There are some conversations I'm just not equipped to have in another language right now. And so in that scenario, a really honest self-assessment, where do I need people to come alongside me? Maybe it's in the business planning, maybe that's your strength, and it's someone to come along and say, okay, how do we measure impact, and how do we put these together? How do we market this, et cetera? So just knowing what is it that we want to do that makes a difference? What is a business that we can build around that? And then what do I need to form a team around me that can make this be successful?